hello to our Viking friends all around the world. We'd like to wish you all a very happy new year for 2023. The lead up to the new year is often a time for reflection on the year that has passed. 2022 has been another milestone year for us here at Viking. We celebrated our 25th anniversary with returning and new travellers from across the globe and launched some very special river ships on the Nile, on the Mekong and the Mississippi, as well as our 2 new expedition ships, which was significant as it marked us sailing to all 7 continents. We also launched 2 new ocean ships to sail the world's 5 oceans and 8 new longships to ply the beautiful and historical waterways of Europe. My father, our chairman Torstein Hagen, has recorded a message for all of us from Antarctica, where he has finally made it after dreaming of visiting the White Continent all his life. So I will now let him share a few words of reflection on the past year and the future.
Dear Viking guests and colleagues, I'm speaking to you today from, you can see, Antarctica. It's beautiful down here. I'm on board the Viking Polaris and I'm taking this trip, which I'd looked forward to for a long time. It's really the first vacation I've had since we started Viking 25 years ago. I'm here with my neighbors from Oslo and my long-term friend from university, Finn. Finn is an expert on such things as elementary particles, quarks and the like, so we can refresh some of our old discussions. He is really one of the world renowned, so it's been very nice. But of course we are here mainly to experience Antarctica. We started in Ushuaia. Ushuaia has figured in my life for quite a while, because as some of you may know, I was a stamp collector as a child. And in 1957, I was 14 years old then, I found the idea that I should send some first day cover to as far away from Norway as I could. So I addressed an envelope to my sister, Marit, address Ushuaia, Argentina, in a registered mail, and sent it off. Of course, there was no Marit in Ushuaia, so the letter was returned. It was registered mail, and I've kept it ever since. It's an ambition of mine to have come down here, and I was here a couple of days ago. The post office was closed, but I now have an appointment for the 28th. Well, I have a confirmed receipt here in Ushuaia. So that was the beginning of the cruise. Some of you know that as you cross from Argentina to Antarctica, you have to cross the Drake Passage. I must say the Viking exploration ships are the best equipped for doing that journey. They are sufficiently large to stand up in the Drake Passage. Our passage was without any discomfort in reality. So that was done well. Then we got down here, and I must say, the most impressive thing is the size of everything. Yesterday we saw 20 whales surrounding the ship. We saw a few penguins. We're going to go ashore today. But it's the enormity of this small part of Antarctica that really impresses me. And I had no idea it was so huge. It's enormous. Today we have a beautiful day, so we can see all the glaciers and so forth. 2022 has been an interesting year for Viking. We have taken delivery of new ships. I think we are particularly proud of these expedition ships, which are, in my opinion, by far the best ships in the industry. They're really beautiful, elegant, and they have all the things you might want. We even did a submarine dive the other day. We have 2 of them on board and 2 on the other ships. So we have 4 yellow submarines, and some of you know the names. We were on board Ringo. It was a fantastic experience. We have taken delivery of the expedition ships this year. We have also taken delivery of new ships in Egypt, and more ships for the oceans. So we are continuing our expansion after the pandemic, which is, I consider, finally behind us. So 2022 has been a good year for us, and looking into 2023, it looks like a phenomenal year. Bookings are very strong. Many of our sailings are sold out. We take delivery on the 8th of January, we'll have the naming ceremony of the Viking Neptune, and we'll be taking delivery of the Saturn later in the year. We'll have a few more long ships for Europe, and of course, above all, we now have the Egypt product, which is very interesting. So the way it now looks for 2023, bookings are very, very strong. On the oceans, we have the most popular things, as you probably know, as the Viking homelands. We can't go to St. Petersburg, but we have replaced it with Oslo. And as a matter of fact, I shouldn't say it maybe, but it's turned out to be even more popular than St. Petersburg. So Viking homelands is a place one should go. And the Mediterranean is always popular, both in summer and I would say particularly in the winter, when it's a bit cooler and you don't have so many tourists to compete with. So I think the ocean business looks very good. On the rivers, as you know, we have a very strong position. The leading products are the Rhine Getaway and the Grand European. These are the very attractive ways of seeing Europe. And as I mentioned, we will have more tonnage also in Egypt. We had the naming of the Viking Osiris, and that ship is by far the best on the River Nile. So I think we have come quite far. 2022 was a sort of transition year, but 23 looks very good. We have still some capacity. I forgot to mention the Mississippi, where we have started up. It will be a great product too, very attractive. So I think at this time of the year, I look back on 2022 with some satisfaction, but looked forward towards 2023 with a lot of anticipation and optimism. And I must say, we see that the reactions to Viking when we meet guests on board this ship is a very favorable one. And I hope many of you will come back next year, the following year, and be part of the Viking family. I think it is kind of a family. We have the best ships, we have the best crew, and as I say, we have the best guests too. It all goes hand in hand. And on that note, maybe I can wish you all a Happy New Year.
Of course, we also marked a special milestone this year with the 2nd anniversary of Viking TV. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of those who've participated in this very special community, including our esteemed guests, hosts, and cultural partners. It's been a wonderful platform to keep connected and enriched while not able to travel, and though our ships have been back in full deployment for a while now, we will be continuing to provide cultural enrichment on Viking TV in the year ahead. We're especially pleased to have been able to open the world to people who otherwise might not be able to physically travel, and are grateful to have the power of technology to do this. So now I'm going to hand over to a few familiar faces who you might recognize from your travels with us this year and who wanted to pass on their well wishes themselves. So from me, it's goodbye 2022 and hello 2023. May it be a healthy and a happy new year for all of you. Gott nyttår, as we say in Norway. Happy New Year, and hope our paths cross somewhere in the new year. Bye for now.
Sretna Nova Godina!
Happy New Year!
Manigong bagong taon!
Sretna Nova Godina!
Sretna Nova Godina!
Feliz Año Nuevo!
Selamat Tahun Baru!
Både god givet.
Maligayang Pasko at masaganang bagong taon.
Maligayang bagong taon.
Happy New Year!
Happy
Suba alutta uruddak veva.
Feliz Año Nuevo!
Feliz Navidad y feliz Año Nuevo.
Feliz Natal e bom Ano Novo.
Vesela Koleda i čestita Nova godina.
Sretna Nova 23 и srećan Božić.
आप सबको नए साल की शुभकामनाएं।
Happy New Year!
Feliz Año Nuevo.
உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எங்கள் இனிய புத்தாண்டு நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
Happy New Year!
Gelukkig nieuwjaar!
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Sretna Nova godina!
Happy New Year!
Feliz Año Nuevo!
So on behalf of all the officers, staff and crew of the Viking Jupiter, we wish you
Sawasdi Pimai ka!
Sasepome California.
Feliz Ano Novo!
Gelukkige nieuwjaar!
Manigong bagong taon.
Halo semuanya, selamat tahun baru.
Feliz año para todos!
Happy New Year from the housekeeping team.
Happy New Year from Live Nordic.
Bizur Vitneri! Feliz Ano Novo!
Happy New Year!
Gott nytt år!
Selamat tahun baru 2023.
Happy New Year!
Vorrei augurare un felice anno nuovo a tutta la Viking, ospiti ed equipaggio.
Pekne boldog új évet.
Šťastné a veselé Vianoce.
La mulți ani fericiți. Frohe Weihnachten.
Sretna Nova godina.
Sretan Božić.
Veselo Koleda! Šťastný nový rok!
Čestita Nova godina.
Happy New Year!
Ezea for Uhuru!
Selamat tahun baru 2023.
Happy New Year!
Selamat Hari Natal.
Happy New Year!
नए साल की आपको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं।
Happy